What's going down, y'all? It's the Wake Up Crew here to talk some NBA prop plays over on PrizePicks for this Friday, October the 28th. NBA slate. Jay, we got a lot of games on the slate tonight, and we got a lot of players that we're going to talk about. We're grinding the model. We're looking at the board. There's a lot of stuff that we like, but quick recap of the plays that we discussed yesterday. Jay, how'd we do?
Luka Magic was in full effect. Jesus
Smashed.
Christ. Went way over pretty much everything you could have bet him on. He went over, and then De'Aaron Fox's points.
Whew.
He went over that late in the game. Got it done for us. Ja Morant continued his struggles against the Kings, which may be a trend, I bet, going forward, which was kind of surprising. But yeah, Luka, superstars against the Nets. Just play him, man. Just play him. Giannis, now Luka, smashing it every time. But today we got some more plays for you, so let's dive into it, Ray. For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PrizePicks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, Jay, so we'll go ahead and kick this bad boy off, and I'm going to start with some first half plays that I like, and I want to talk about Mr. Bojan Bogdanovic. I love him. I love him tonight versus Atlanta. I love his fantasy score, more than 13.5 fantasy score. I see a lot of people in on his points over 19.5 tonight, but the fantasy score right now, he's second in usage rate on the Detroit Pistons behind Cade Cunningham. He's playing about 17 minutes per first half, which is right there with Cade, is tops on the team. You look at what he's done over the last 5 games, averaging almost 17 fantasy score in the first half versus Atlanta, a game in which is projected the over-under total at 227 points. I like Mr. Bogdanovic in this one for him to score. I like the points, Jay. I was going to take the points at 9.5. He's averaging about 12.6. But the fantasy score has been treating us very well lately. And a lot of people keep asking, what is fantasy score? PrizePicks is the compilation of points you get for them scoring, getting rebounds, getting assists. So Bogdanovic over 13.5 fantasy score. I like the play. Jay, I'm just going to run through the first half ones and then we can get out of here and go to look at the full game. I also like Pascal Siakam. His fantasy score in the first half, more than 22.5. He's averaging 26.4 over his last 5. They got Philly tonight, back-to-back games. He's gone over this. Pascal, his usage rate, over 30% on the season. He's averaging over 18 minutes per game. In Philadelphia, their defensive efficiency rating and field goal percentage giving up is not good. This is a plus matchup for Pascal, so I like the more than 22.5 fantasy score in the first half for Siakam. And then the final one that I want to talk about, the final first half play. Who did I have on here, Jay? I had one more. I didn't write it down, but I know Bogdanovic was number 1 for me. Siakam. Oh, the other one. And I'm just going to throw this out here. Not a core play for me, but Porzingis. And I know some of y'all are thinking, what? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was thinking what?
Oh, what are you doing? Porzingis, what? Look at what he's done in the first half. And he's got Indiana, one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. 9.5 is his first half points, 12, 10, 12, 11, and 20. And if you don't like the points, you could take a look at his fantasy score. I wouldn't go there, but the points would be, if I play Porzingis, I'd go more than 9.5 points, but not an official play. Just wanted to talk about it. I think it's decent, but we can get out of the first half plays. What do you think about Pascal and Bogdanovic, Jay?
Well, I mean, it never hurts to roll with All-NBA second team Pascal Siakam playing like first team member this season. But yeah, against Philly, he just dominates. I think there's just that feud between him and Embiid, the Raps and the Sixers. It's well documented. They don't like each other. Embiid had a big game against them, but I think that Pascal will have to respond again. I'm totally with you. And to your point about Bogdanovic, man, when he gets going, he's a shooter. And shooters shoot. I don't mind rolling with him
8 threes a game,
either.
Jay. He's chucking up 8 a game.
And he should be chucking more with how bad that Detroit Pistons team is. So credit to him. He's shooting very, very well so far this season. But Ray, I do have to, I want to talk about a couple plays. Okay. And I feel bad because I'm targeting your Lakers.
Uh-oh.
Say what you want about your Lakers. They are not good. I know you try to defend them, but Anthony Edwards is just balling right now. He scored 30 in 3 of his last 4 games now. While their schedule is bad, the Spurs twice, Oklahoma City twice, Utah, yikes.
Yeah.
But I think the Lakers are a little bit closer to that category than maybe people are willing to admit. I really like Anthony Edwards today to go over his points and rebounds. He's averaging 22.8 points per game and 7.4 rebounds per game. As you can see with some simple math, that's a total of over 30. I like Ant a lot. He can do it just on the points alone. The Lakers are god awful. They don't rebound very well. And that's why, like, kind of unofficially, I do like Gobert's rebounds over 14, even though they are insanely high. I do like Rudy Gobert, man. He's just a monster on the boards. He's like a black hole for rebounds.
He hasn't hit
now,
this
the
in
past few
back-to-back
games,
games. He hasn't hit this in
I know
games.
it's not an official play, but again,
Right.
the Spurs, they do have Jakob Poeltl who can rebound a little bit. They have some bigger guys, Keldon Johnson as well. The Lakers ain't really got that. And you pointed out to me, AD potentially not playing.
Game
so
time.
What the hell do the Lakers look like if they don't got AD in the middle to cover Rudy Gobert? Not an official play, but it's one I was looking at and I was like, Lakers are a great matchup. Maybe we got to target Rudy Gobert in this one. Over 14. Don't love it, don't hate it, but I definitely think he's a guy who could go 20-20 in any game. Maybe not so much for the points, but for the rebounds especially.
All right. And did you have another play that you wanted to discuss? I know you liked somebody in the Portland game.
I do like Jusuf Nurkic. Now, he's a guy who can ball, and I think this is the perfect matchup for him. Dame Lillard, obviously out, so that's why his points are juiced up a little bit. I personally I think his fantasy score of all of them. The points are pretty good. He scores quite a lot against Houston, surprisingly, in the history. He's about 18 points per game, but he's averaging about 13 or so rebounds. Just kind of depends on how long back you go for the sample, but he scores a lot more than he does in any other matchup. But the biggest thing here is that Houston's allowing 2.2 blocks per game to centers, and we know that's worth about, I think that'd be 7 points in fantasy score. So that's basically getting you a large part of the way there. Nurkic is a guy who can easily go 15-10. That's where he's projected on the books. I think if you work in some of those blocks numbers and project out forward, over 36.5 fantasy score is very doable for a guy who has multiple games of 18 points, 18 rebounds against this Houston Rockets team that is just abysmal up front and in the middle. They get shots blocked very often from the center position. They're not a good team. They play at a fast pace. I think without Dame, he sees a few more shots shooting the ball. So for me, I'm pretty in on Nurkic today. I think he's in a great spot to smash. Again, say what you want about his up and down play. This is the time when he can really showcase his abilities with the guards, Anthony Simons and Josh Hart giving him the ball. He's going to smash in this one. He's in a great spot.
All right, so you want to lock Nurkic in as a core play? Are we locking that in on Friday?
Nurkic and Edwards are my plays. Just wanted to talk about Gobert because it's hard not to look at him and be like, man, he should really dominate this one.
Well, I mean, and we're just talking through some things right now. Anthony Simons, no Dame Lillard, 24.5 points. It was 23.5. I like this number, Jay. I like 24.5 for Simons without Dame Lillard in this matchup versus Houston. Up and down, frenetic pace. He should have an opportunity to score a lot of points in this one. I want to go back to some first half plays and just kind of talk through a couple, Jay. I did lock in Jason Tatum more than 22.5 fantasy score on a separate ticket. Listen, I talked all that trash about Cleveland being this tough defense for Paolo, and he went out there and absolutely rocked them. And right now you're looking at what Jason Tatum has done over his past 2 games in the first half versus Orlando and then versus Chicago, almost 30 in both games. So I do like that 22.5 number for Jason Tatum. You want to talk about the potential rookie of the year, Paolo, real quick? You want to talk about him?
We can talk about Paolo. It's one of those things, right? You told me his points were at 23.5, and I was like, man, I don't know. And then you look at that opponent, the Charlotte Hornets, and you're like, oh boy. It's a team that just runs and guns with the best of them and doesn't play any defense in the interior. Paolo should have a great game. Do I think I want to trust the 23.5? I mean, maybe. He's averaging almost, 24 points per game?
It's right there.
It's tough not to go with him. I don't know if I could do it, but it's just one of those things, like, I know how bad Charlotte is. He could easily put up 30 on them. Easily. Just put up 29 on Cleveland. You want to go the points, rebounds, assists? Maybe you want to bank on him getting a double-double, going 20-10, easily getting some. Look, he could do it, and that's the problem. You took the under last time, or at least we're talking about it.
Never again.
We're not doing that again.
Never again.
It's high. It's so high. If anything, I would take the points. I think he's just a guy that loves to score, and I think he's a guy that can get it over the 23.5.
33.5 points. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Where are we at with Giannis tonight? At 33.5. I want to take it, Jay. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at it versus the Knicks. What are they going to do to stop him tonight? Back-to-back games of 40-plus for Giannis. He's had 2 days where he hasn't played since the 26th versus Brooklyn. Jay, 33.5 for Giannis.
Is it in New York?
I don't know where the game. I don't know if the game
Either
is
way,
in New York or not. I don't know. I don't know.
Giannis just kills the Knicks, man. It's really not great for the Knicks. They're not going to stop him. Let's just be honest. They're not. Last time he played the Knicks was January 28th. He put up 38, 13, and 5. Now he's got some lesser games because the Knicks haven't been so competitive.
It's at home.
But
it's at home.
It's at home, so he got the crowd behind him. Again, the thing with Giannis is that I don't want to bet on him the game that he takes his foot off the gas, and that may never happen, right? But he's coming off huge games, but the game against Philly, slower paced, only scored 21. We'll see how they play the Knicks. I think they fucking kill the Knicks in this one. I think they dominate the whole game, and it could be a slightly slower paced environment. We've seen them play in a lot of slow paced games this season. Even though he scored 40 against the Nets, what was that game, like 90-95?
Yeah.
It wasn't super high scoring. Same with the game against Philly. They will dominate the pace. I think that while he can go over, it's not one I necessarily want to take. Same kind of thought with Luka, except the Nets are awful. But if you want to go after him, it's just so high. These are kind of the bets I kind of stay away from. But Giannis, he's Giannis. He can do it.
His fantasy score is 60.5. Points and rebounds, 46.5. 35% usage rate. The only player in the NBA that's got a higher usage rate than Giannis is Luka, right at almost 40, which is insane, a 40% usage rate. So I might roll Giannis out there, Jay. I think they're going to crush New York. And also a reason why I like Jalen Brunson. Some of his first half numbers, you guys should take a look at those. But our official, we talked about like 10 different players, but the official plays, Yusuf Nurkic over, 36.5 fantasy score. Anthony Edwards over 28.5 points and rebounds. Pascal Siakam, more than 22.5 fantasy score. And Bojan Bogdanovic, over 13.5 first half fantasy score. Those are the four core plays. Take what you like, leave what you don't. Do not hold us to the other plays that we talked to. But hopefully,
unless they hit.
Unless they hit, then we will take credit for them, no doubt. But we appreciate you tapping in. We don't make you pay for picks. We show you our process. We walk you through our thought process and give you the plays. All that we ask you to do is hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment below, let us know what you are playing. As always, if you tell, give Prize Picks hell, and if we fail, do not bail. We'll be back tomorrow, Jay, with more NBA picks and Sunday, NFL, college football. Make sure you check that out on the channel. But good luck and good night. We're out. Peace.